What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football. We talk football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Or choose to use the poll. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders should be the number 2 quarterback on the Cleveland Browns depth chart come week 1 when they play and probably get roasted by the Cincinnati Bengals? Because let's be very, very frank here. I watched every bit of that Los Angeles Rams game while I'm watching every bit of Iowa State, Kansas State. Their cheeks offensively, like they're not good. Jamari Thrash is good. David Njoku's good. I don't know who the hell you expect to be running the football, though. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, who ain't played not nan one down during the preseason, gonna come out here and be 9-10. I'm going, all right, cool, bet, go ahead. You're the week 1 starter. You 40. You've been playing football since, the Reagan administration. I expect you still got a little bit of, shall we say, muscle memory going on for you, right? You know what I'm saying? You understand the rhythms of this league. I still don't think you're gonna make the entire season as a starting quarterback. And that might have something to do with what I think about your talent. In fact, it has quite a bit to do with what I think about your talent. You tall. Good for you. It's also about how old you are, dog. You 40. Now, I'm damn near 40. But I ain't trying to play in the NFL neither. I'm on a bike. You know what I'm saying? I've entered the non-contact sport zone of being an adult. All right? Like, you out here like one of these real crazy, shall we say, KNEEGROWs playing 37U football. That's what you're doing right now. As a 40-year-old man, you play 37U football. All right, cool, bet. Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, they out here. They saying, hey, dog, yeah. You know what time it is? We need somebody to go out there and be the quarterback for what's going to be a pretty cheeksy, lemon booty, hard to watch football team. But what is new for the Browns, right? Like if the joke wasn't right there, we wouldn't be making the joke. But what you got is Jimmy Haslam, who knows you drafted 2 quarterbacks. I'm going to get to Andrew Berry in a minute. And then you sitting on Kenny Pickett, who ain't looked good since he left Pitt in 2021. And you signed Snoop Huntley, who was so good as a quarterback, he played at Utah, where they do is run the football. That's what they do at Utah. They run the football. That's what they do in Salt Lake City. They don't throw the football. And you got nasty Deshaun Watson, who you paying all this money to not play football. Like on general principle, I understand. There's some of y'all that are new to the show, and I appreciate you for being here. But you're going to get down. You're going to come on. And if I'm not talking to you about this, maybe go talk to your friend about what I'm about to tell you. I'm not about to be paying somebody no $200+ million and not watch them work. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I need to see you with a shovel. I need to see you with some sort of widget. I need to see you with a hammer. I need to see you with some nails. I need to see you doing some work. You realize they paying that man to sit down. Now, I'm from Tulsa. Okay? A lot of red dirt around here. Lot of holes to be dug around here. A lot of fracking, a lot of oil, a lot of gas. A lot of hands-on work out here. Okay? So believe me when I tell you, that ain't the job that we just ain't gonna do that. That's not what we doing. And I ain't put my phone on do not disturb. Spam. Stop spamming me. Spam risk. That might have been assistant coach. I was getting excited. I'm getting at this to say, how you gonna have 6 quarterbacks on your roster and no starter? I realize you named a starter, but you understand what I mean here. So knowing that you don't have a starter, go develop one. And that's what we thought that the Browns going to do, right? They're, like everybody else, had an opportunity to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 3rd round, but they drafted a dude that's as old as Kenny Pickett, calling him a rookie, in Dillon Gabriel. I love Dillon. What he did 2023 for Oklahoma, Love that. Might be the only 10-win season that Brent Venable sees until this year. Until this year, 2025, baby. Oklahoma up. I'm trying to tell y'all. We got to do John Mateer. We got to do Jay Knott. We got to do Deion Burks and Brent calling the plays. But you went and drafted him. And everybody's like, all right, cool. That's your quarterback in the future. You know that you're going to have to eventually stop paying Deshaun Watson to not work. And you got Joe Flacco over here as your bridge. You know what I'm saying? That's your placeholder. That's the dude that's going to get you to 2026 when the Browns can be maybe less Brownsy. Maybe. Okay? Maybe not squander the last good years of David Njoku, of Myles Garrett, my God, of Denzel Ward. Like, they got dudes. They just ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Browns ain't good, but those dudes are great. And then you traded up to go get Shedeur Sanders. And Andrew Berry got into the booth today, talking with Joe Thomas and Mike Rose. Excuse me, Chris Rose. My bad. Mike Rose played linebacker at Iowa State. Mike Rose was a dog, by the way. Chris Rose in the booth. And he said, we're going to develop both quarterbacks simultaneously, to which my ears went, huh? What? You going to do what now? Yeah. You got to develop them as you're going. And I'm going, you ain't got enough plays. You ain't got enough snaps. You ain't got enough practices to develop both of them dudes into what it's going to take to be an NFL quarterback. And we got more proof of that today against the Rams. Look, Dillon went 12-19. He looked fine. Shedeur didn't look good. The talent's there. We know who he is. We know who Dillon is. Make a decision. Now, many of us would want you to see 12 out there playing because that's our favorite player on the roster. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and she called that boy precious. She don't know nothing about the Cleveland Browns other than they sorry. And she was really down that Shedeur Sanders got to play Browns football. And you know what? Hey, I'm like, the rest of us football nerds, that's where we at too. We down about it too. You know, I'm reading Seth Wickersham's book, and he's talking about developing quarterbacks and what quarterbacks do. So we talked to Caleb Williams' daddy, who always got something to say, by the way. Carl got something to say. So Carl tells Seth, Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. And in my brain, I went, maybe Caleb Williams, maybe Justin Fields, you know, down the line as they give a 2-year, $10 million contract to Tyson Bagent. But those of y'all don't know, Tyson Bagent is cool, like he down to earth, but his daddy is otherworldly. Like his daddy is a rock star in the world of arm wrestling. And I know about arm wrestling because we be doing that around here too, because I'm from Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Like I know more about Travis Bagent than I do about Tyson Bagent. Tyson Bagent played quarterback at Eastern Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Travis is the guy. Anyway, they did all that. They had a 4,000-yard pass year. I get all of that. But they also, 2006 happened. They were good in this 21st century. The Browns ain't never been no good. Even the Detroit Lions have got to be good. They're good. Everybody likes them. They understand who they are. They ain't got no problem telling you who the quarterback was going to be and how they going to do it. Meanwhile, we got to watch Dillon and we got to watch Shedeur maybe be the third and fourth quarterbacks on this depth chart behind a dude named Kenny Pickett. Okay? Nobody feels good about this. That's the other part. Like, I think Andrew Berry is playing a long game, but that's what general managers do. They play the long game. Like, when they were doing the process out the Sixers, my man, and one dude to process out the Sixers, it didn't even last for him. He didn't even get to see the process through. And that's what you're doing right now. You're playing with people's emotions. Now, Kevin Stefanski's being told, hey, I've handed you 2 quarterbacks, develop them both. And I'm got to be looking at him going, like, you're looking back at Andrew Berry, like, you want me to do what now? You want me to keep, yeah, we're going to rock around with 4 quarterbacks on the depth chart. On a 53-man roster? Yeah, we feel like we can do some moving and shaking at the nickel and safety spot. What? Unless you got Minkah Fitzpatrick over there, you need to tell me exactly who it is you think can play both of those positions. Because last time I checked, they ain't but 3, 4, 5 guys in the NFL that can drop down to play nickel and strong safety. And that dude, one of them. Matter of fact, Pittsburgh, Miami, one of those 2 teams, tried to make that man play 6 different positions. And that's a Thorpe Award winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of talent it takes. So now we're in a spot where we got to watch what's going to happen or not happen with Shedeur and Dillon. While there's chirping. You know what I'm saying? There's chirping. And all we getting is Shedeur handling his business, doing what he knows how to do. We get Dillon who walked into an open question and gave the wrong answer. I'm a competitor. Some guys are entertainers. I'm here to compete. You can understand why that feels like a shot, because ain't nobody's rookie jersey selling as well as Shedeur Sanders' jersey. Certainly not yours. And we're talking about Shedeur because he moves the needle. You know what I mean? And if you're the Browns and you are sorry, you need people to want to watch you. Or maybe you don't, because the NFL is full of 32 socialists who want to share money and whatnot, like some communist Russia or something. But we let that go because they print money, and the NFL is good for us. We like the NFL. We would like it better if I didn't have to watch Robert Griffin III, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield. I mean, I can keep naming quarterbacks. That's the problem. I can keep naming quarterbacks that they have turned sorry. And now they're the first franchise since 2012 to draft 2 quarterbacks in the same NFL draft. It's happened like 5 times and only twice in the 21st century. There's reason for that. It's a bad use of your capital and your assets. And I ain't even got to this, but I put it off way too long. You could have had Travis Hunter. Could have had Travis Hunter at number 2 and still got Shedeur. Instead, you traded him away to Jacksonville for, let me check my notes here, picks. Now, I'm from Oklahoma City Thunder, NBA champs. The champs are in Oklahoma City. That means when you come here, genuflect. That means I don't want to hear nothing about what Tyrese Halliburton was doing or not doing. He wasn't there to help you. You didn't have nobody else there that could help you. And my man's from Canada, because that's where Shay's from. He's from Canada. Came down here, gave you a what for and how, now got his MVP. You know what I'm saying? That is to say, finally those picks turned out to be something. But there's a whole lot of cheeksy OKC history that we just do not talk about, because all the draft nicks want to tell us and all the analysts want to tell us about is picks. The first time that I see a player whose last name is Picks will be the first time ever. I don't want to watch picks. I want to watch winning. I want to watch good football. And I'm sure if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, first of all, you have my deepest sympathies, but only so deep because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So I kind of got a different sort of problem. I got a Micah Parsons who's walking down the hallway eating nachos with his hoodie up. I got a Micah Parsons who is getting fielded questions for like Atlanta on the tweets saying, call me. And I got a Jerry Jones who has dug his heels in. It ain't fun. It ain't fun to be no Dallas Cowboys fan. It ain't fun to be no Cleveland Browns fan. And I would prefer not to have who's having a less fun conversation, but it's kind of where we at now. I'm so down that I'm doing Shedeur Sanders segments. That's where we at. Knowing damn well that all Jerry needed to do was back this truck up to go get Deion, but Deion want to be in Colorado. I'm like, maybe if the number was bigger, he might rethink going to Boulder. They paid him $10 million to be the head coach in Boulder. You can do better. And now I got to watch that Netflix documentary where all I got to hear about was how Jerry was always in the hole on the money. Like, the thing that bothered me the most about that isn't that he was wildcatting. Wildcatting, I know what that's about. I'm from here, right? You dig holes in the ground with other people's money, hoping to pay it off when you hit big, okay? He did that. He dug holes in the ground, hit big, bought the Dallas Cowboys, and then went immediately into the crapper in how much money he was spending. I don't need to hear about an NFL owner losing money because the team ain't good. Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in the entire world. But you was fighting for your life in the early 90s? I ain't trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. And I got Jimmy Haslam over here talking about, hey, Andrew Berry makes the choices for the personnel. You know, that's ultimately his call. Distancing himself from the Shedeur pick, but also I always get I get the willies when I hear people talk like that. Because you get general managers that seem to know personnel better than football coaches, but football coaches who got to coach the personnel that general managers get. It ain't always working. Like, as a general manager, you make the math work for the most part. And then you go, well, I want to have more say over who works for you. I've done construction long enough to know I'm not going to pick a foreman's crew. I'm not doing that. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that does, and maybe the business changes, but you let the foreman pick his crew, because that's your ride or die. That's your clique. That's your gangsters. You gotta have an OG. You got to have a smart dude. You got to have a dude that knows when lunch is. You got to have a dude to make sure everybody got in the truck, and you got to have another dude to make sure that all the tools get back to where they're going, and your foreman got to make sure everybody get paid. It don't sound like Kevin Stefanski's going to have fun being a foreman this year. That's what I'm saying. I really believe that between Dillon Gabriel and between Shedeur Sanders, you can have a really great quarterback. You can have one really great quarterback. I don't think you can do it with both. That's a problem for me. And I think that anytime you have two quarterback system, you don't have a quarterback at all. And it sounds like that's what they're doing. It sounds like they're trying to make the rookies separate in practice. And then, according to the depth chart, they're going to throw them out there the first time that Joe Flacco snaps an Achilles or has a bad game. Like, that dude's contract is laden with bonuses for winning football games and being on the roster. I don't think that's what I want from my starting quarterback. I think those are things that I would want to very much take for granted. He's going to play most of the games, and he wants to win football games. I don't want to pay him a bonus for that. You pay bonuses in postseason, you know? But when you're 40 and you still think that you that good because you see Aaron Rodgers over here, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm 38. All 38-year-olds ain't built the same. They ain't built the same. We just not. And either you get with that or not. But if the grounds are going to give you the keys, then they're going to give you the keys. And you're going to do what you got to do. Meanwhile, you sign Isaiah Bond, who might be somebody. We'll see. I liked him at Alabama, not so much at Texas. And Quinshawn Judkins, Andrew Berry was mum about. Well, that might be your best rookie, dog. And I'm including Shedeur and Dillon in that calculus. That dude can run the football. So if there ain't nothing holding it up, pay the man his money, get him in the backfield. You traded Nick Chubb to the Houston Texans, or did you forget? I was very excited to think that Dylan Sampson and Quinshawn Judkins be in the same backfield. Man, that's a duo like Ebony and Ivory. You know what I'm saying? That's Millie and Vanilli. That's the Isley brothers. Charles and Ron. Since, you know, we got some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters in here with us. So they might not know. Some of y'all need to get on the ice, is what I'm saying. I think that Kenny Pickett is going to be waiting it out, trying to get to Tyson Bagent a little bit later on, trying to do the Chase Daniels for a little while, trying to finesse it. But this does not feel good. This does not feel good. So the depth chart probably going to not change. It's going to be Flacco. It's going to be Pickett. It's going to be Gabriel because he's drafted in the third round. It's going to be Shedeur because he's drafted in the fourth round. And it's going to be, hey, Snoop, thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing your job. And it's going to be Deshaun, take this money. Don't look at me. That's what it's going to be. Take a break and come back. Let's do some week 0 takeaways because we had a really great game against Iowa State, Kansas State. You can check that VOD out. We already did that. But I'll take a few questions because we're doing it live, or can't you read the banner? Otherwise, yeah, man, I'm having a good time. I hope y'all are too. Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. There are almost 138,000 people who have, and I would like you to be one of them as we're trying to grow the show. And answer the question in the comments below. Did you pick Iowa State to beat Kansas State today in Dublin, Ireland? Even though Iowa State was a 3-point dog? Because I did. 1-0, baby. 1-0. We'll see how the rest of the day goes because I've been known to get off to a fast start and then kind of cool, right? But we'll see. We'll see. This is a game that I felt good about, knowing what I know about Rocco Beck, knowing what I know about Matt Campbell, and frankly, what I thought I knew about those running backs that they got just there in Carson Hansen and Abu Sama. But it turned out to be a game of who wants the football there in the first quarter. Boys putting the ball on the floor. They say there are 10 commandments. You know, the ones that Moses went up to the mountaintop. He chiseled them down in that rock. He brought it back down and said, hey, God said this. I think that there's an 11th one on the back. Thou shalt not fumble the football. Don't fumble my football. Don't put my football on the ground. My football needs to be in your arms at all times. Or you're handing it to another person. You throw it to another person, that ball don't hit the ground. That football is sacred, okay? Didn't look sacred in Dublin, Ireland. Didn't look like it. I realized the field conditions were garbage, but you also not playing on an American football field. You're playing at a soccer stadium. What do you expect? You in their woods. You ain't in yours. And y'all want to take this money, fly over there, play this game, you're going to get what they give you. Okay? It's also raining a little bit because, that time of the year. But outside of that, right, we got a great football game. Like Avery Johnson played his behind off. 70% completion, 273 yards through the air, a couple tutties. He looked good. He just didn't look good on 4th and 1 from his own 30-yard line in the fourth quarter, down 3. I, like Dave and Dusty, asked the question, what the hell are you doing, Chris Kleiman? I mean, they were much more polite about it, but I'm going, punt the football. Punt the football. You've shown you can take the football from them or they're going to give it to you. Punt the football. You're also going into that 1 for 3 on 4th down. If you give them this football, all they got to do is kick a field goal to make this a touchdown game, or worse yet, do what they did, score a TD. But RJ, they scored a 65-yard TD the very next series. Imagine if they'd done that instead of giving them up to 7 points in the first place. Come on now. We doing basic math now. We doing arithmetic. You know what I'm saying? 24-21 could have just easily gone the other way. It was there for Kansas State is what I'm saying. But that's what it's going to be in the Big 12 this year. It's going to be a lot of people being there. I mean, this is a 3-point game, and Kansas State was 3-point favorite, flipped the other way. But I expect that up and down the Big 12. I can pick 14 teams out of that 16-team league that I think can win the conference championship, and I can do that because there have been 5 different Big 12 champions the last 5 years. Arizona State, who media picked dead last, finishes with the championship. And they were so embarrassed by this that they decided to not let the media vote on who we think was going to win the Big 12 championship. Like it's our fault that Arizona State was whooping y'all behind. Come on now. Come on now. Everybody needs a scapegoat. I understand that. But that's a really weak argument. We don't think that poll helped us. Well, hell, the ACC does it. The SEC does it. The Big Ten does it. But you're not going to do it. The SEC, who's won more championships the last 20 years than anybody else, they do it. They're fine. I guess it helps that they don't have a league where Vanderbilt or Mississippi State jumps up and win the SEC championship, but that ain't our problem either. That's a you problem. I'm sincerely asking, hey, man, who else is going to be in this predicament? In predicament, I mean, you got a 1-score game deep into the fourth quarter. Who's got it? Now, Cajonas Campbell decided to do what would have been Cajonas Kleiman. Both of those dudes are going for it. They wanted to win. And I really love that. And I don't want to dismiss that. There are opportunities there for you to fold. There are opportunities there for you to be very conservative. Do what James Franklin would do. But neither one of them dudes want to do it. Both of them dudes thought it was worthwhile to try to go win the football game. And Matt Campbell said, I'm going to go do that. We're going to go for it on 4th down, and we're going to be perfect. 3 for 3 on 4th down. Rocco Beck is 3-0 against Kansas State. 3-0 in Farmageddon. 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 609 passing yards. He owns Kansas State. So you got a top 25 matchup where one was number 22, one was number 17. We'll see how these rankings shake out come Labor Day weekend. But I was impressed by what I had seen from both quarterbacks, from both offensive coordinators. I wanted to see a little bit more out of Kansas State's run game, but, Dylan Edwards went out early. And I got to see another Lockett play because they're still making Lockets. If you're not from around here, again, I do a national show, but I do it with a local heart. You know what I'm saying? I got to be who I am and authentic to you as I'm doing this. So when I tell you, I went to school with a Lockett, and there have been Lockets that went to school before me. And all the Lockets play defensive back or quarterback, or wide receiver. And they all go to Kansas State. Tyler Lockett, Kevin Lockett, Aaron Lockett, now Sterling Lockett. Still making Lockets. They still killers. And I expect that Sterling will be great given some time. What I did not expect was to see this strategy of using the tailbacks in the first quarter, right? And say, Carson Hansen. And then 2 quarters of Abu Sama, and then 4th quarter that mostly belonged to Carson Hansen. That I thought was calculated and cool because you had somebody fresh for the second and the third quarter because you get halftime, and you got somebody fresh coming out to play and somebody who's closing. And we overlook the closer as we get into football because we talk about the defense closing it out. You also need a tailback that's going to be able to wear people out. You don't need a tailback that's going to wear people down. How do you take care of that guy? Because usually that bell cow back, that's why we call him that. He's the guy leading the other backs. He's the guy with the bell around his neck. You following him. I was very curious to see how that would play out. And it played out well. And Matt Campbell wanted it. They went and got it. John Haycock's defense is still a monster. It doesn't matter who's in the defense. They seem to know how to come out and play. We'll see how they develop. They're big at wide receiver still, even if unproven. And I still think that this is a team that can make the college football playoff after winning 11 games for the first time ever last season. Matt Campbell continues to build his own statue out there, man. They won the Fiesta Bowl in 2020, had a unanimous All-American in Breece Hall. They had Brock Purdy, was drafted in the 7th round. Oh, yeah, leads the 49ers to the Super Bowl. He's put together a program that if it wasn't Matt Campbell, we might be saying other things, but it is. Like, he's had Power 4 opportunities. He's also had, NFL opportunities, but that just ain't what it's been. I got time for one question before we get out of here. Let me see what we got. Who's got a good question? As I scroll through the chat, who's got a good question? A lot of statements. No questions. Okay. Some of y'all need to learn how to use a question mark. Let me see. What else we got? Going once, going twice. And nobody got any questions. We got takes. Got lots of takes. Okay. I've been looking. Oh, y'all running up on my time here now. So what you got? Oh, let me see. Got a new comment. All right. Finally got me a question. Do you think they try that all season? Try what, dog? Oh, you're not talking to me. Never mind. They having their own discussion in the chat, which is what you expect. Let's see. Here's one. Finally, we got us a good one. Will Sanders start a game by week 5? No. No is the short answer. The longer answer is you got to work through 3 other quarterbacks, dog. So for that to happen, Flacco would need to get benched by week 2, right? By the end of week 2. And then Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel would also have to be cheeks too, which means you would probably see Shedeur play in week 3, week 4 before he gets started in week 5. You know what I mean? Like the way the season works, that's not how it's going to work out for the 4th-string quarterback. I also need to probably go out on this fact. What a wild thought it is for Shedeur Sanders to be 4th on anybody's depth chart. Anybody at any time in his life. I don't know that I would be able to stomach that. I would question leadership. But again, he has more class than I do. And so do you. Thank y'all for being here and watching Adapt and Respond, joining me, RJ Young. We do this after big events. We'll do Saturday nights when we got big football. We'll do instant reaction to games. We'll do live reaction to college football playoff. We'll do live reaction following Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Friday Night Football. You can catch us here. And I hope you join you in the conversation. I'll be in the comments. I'll be in the chats. You'll see lots more live stuff. And I want y'all to have a very safe Saturday. I want you to have a fun Sunday because next week we got to go to work. It's football season and we got games to play, baby. We got games to play. All right. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Doses.